Virginia's race for governor is in a dead heat as it enters its final week. A new poll from USA Today and Suffolk University finds Republican Glenn Youngkin and Democrat Terry McAuliffe tied at roughly 45%. About 5% of voters remain undecided before Election Day, November 2nd. Joining me now with the latest on this race is Charlotte Rene Woods. She is a reporter for Charlottesville Tomorrow. Welcome to you. Boy, this race has just gotten tighter and tighter. We're now in the final week of the campaign. What does it all come down to?
Ooh, I actually just spent my weekends at multiple Youngkin and McAuliffe campaign events. It really, at this point, for Democrats, this is sort of like a referendum on how blue the state has actually trended in recent years. We have to remember that Donald Trump lost Virginia by 10 points last fall. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden's approvals are a little bit down right now. And also, Republicans haven't held a statewide office in about a decade. So I'm seeing a lot of the same energy that I saw in 2017, where Democrats were fired up after Hillary Clinton lost the election. They were really getting out the votes, and we saw what was dubbed the blue wave. A lot of House of Delegates seats flipped. Virginia kept a blue Democratic governor. And so now we're seeing sort of like a red wave. Republicans are really fired up. And also, Youngkin, he has a political action committee that is funding Republican candidates at the House of Delegates and local level around the state. He actually shouted out a lot of, keep us all in your prayers, vote for us all. So I think he's hoping that if he can win this election, he'll also walk in with some seats flipped in the General Assembly, possibly even flipping the majority. But there is a 10-seat lead right now for Democrats, and getting more Republicans elected in local races around the state.
Well, President Biden's approval rating is at the lowest point in his presidency. What factors into the decision to have him campaign for Terry McAuliffe?
Right now, McAuliffe is kind of pulling out like all the heavy hitters in the Democratic Party. This past weekend, former President Barack Obama was stumping for him in Richmond. Then in Charlottesville the following day, Stacey Abrams came, Jamie Harrison, who's chair of the DNC, musician Dave Matthews of the Dave Matthews Band. I know later this week Pharrell is going to be campaigning with him in Virginia Beach area. And then obviously Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady, was here a few weeks ago. And so now having Biden, I think it's just a way to further signal that I'm your Democrat, I'm your guy. Approval ratings can come and go, but let's keep the state blue. Meanwhile, Youngkin had heavy hitters earlier on in the campaign, and now he's keeping things a bit more intimate and just like hopping up on a stage with, I think, the rally that I went to in Richmond on Saturday. Former Republican Jim Gilmore was the sort of, I guess, heavy hitter, but within the state to stump for him.
All right, well, let's talk a bit more about Glenn Youngkin. He's made schools and specifically parental input in matters of curriculum a major issue of this race. Here is Terry McAuliffe's original comment about it earlier this month.
I'm not going to let parents come into schools and actually take books out and make their own decision.
You vetoed it.
So, yeah, I stopped the bill that I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
So, Charlotte, how much has that moment defined the weeks after?
It's actually pretty consistent on McAuliffe's parts. The recent ad that features a parent from Northern Virginia who opposed her son reading, I think it was Beloved by Toni Morrison this was 2013. And then flash forward to 2016, there were some bills in the General Assembly that would have required, schools to notify parents if there's explicit material, in reading lists for class assignments. It had bipartisan support. It got through, ended up on I almost said McAuliffe's desk, and he ended up vetoing it then. And then you saw in the debate, he mentioned that as well. And he's been pretty consistent on where he stands on, take it up with your local school boards. The government shouldn't be telling you what you can and can't have your children subjected to. But meanwhile, at the same time, Youngkin's really harnessing this energy around parents' voice that has been surfacing over the summer. We've certainly seen in a lot of local school board races around the state, even here nearby Charlottesville and Albemarle County, where there are concerns over things like critical race theory, and you hear parents coming into school board meetings. And I feel like Youngkin is really realizing that this is a sort of a bit of a trend right now, but also it's a local issue and it's a state issue and it's reverberating nationally. So he's trying to hop on that wave. And really at this point, when you think about undecided voters, when you think about more moderate voters or, independent voters, a lot of times it ends up being suburban parents.
Yeah, and on that point, Charlotte, I mean, how does this focus on schools factor into Virginia's suburban voters who turned against former President Trump?
Oh, good question. Yeah, there's also a bit of a reckoning within the Republican. Like I said earlier, a lot of this election is a referendum on how blue Virginia is. Glenn Youngkin himself really kind of embodies how center, left, right, and further right the Republican Party is right now, because we saw 4 years of Donald Trump coming in, and certainly ahead of the primaries this year, there were a lot of other candidates going up against Glenn Youngkin. Senator Amanda Chase called herself, quote, Trump in heels. And then since he got through the primaries heading into the general, Youngkin has really had to sort of dance this tightrope of how much do I accept or embrace Trump in that voter base, and how much do I just keep that at a distance?
Well, you're joining us from Charlottesville, where 4 years after the fact, a trial is underway to determine if organizers of the Unite the Right rally predetermined it would turn violent. So where do things stand?
We're on day 2 at the moment. The last I checked a few moments before hopping on here, we are still trying to seat the jurors. So I think we need to have 12, and it's been the first 2 days. So opening remarks could start most likely tomorrow at the soonest, I would think. And the trial is expected to last about 4 weeks.
All right, Charlotte Rene Woods, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.